Next. I mean, U.S. always make some like yeah, Korea was more different than the Vietnamese jungle. Really?
Korea, but the non-uniformed Viet Cong were highly mobile and unidentifiable, avoiding direct confrontations whenever they could, relying on ambushes, booby traps, and similar tactics to grind at U.S. morale.
Wow, they're like 300 IQ or whatever.
Of this strategy was that there were no actual front lines.
No front lines, but there's always bush lines.
While the Viet Cong frustrated U.S. troops in the south, the NVA commander, Vo Wing Zap,
Vo Wing Zap, the right Napoleon, as he was named,
also knew that a conventional war was impossible to win, and focused on winning over the people.
Yeah, winning over hearts and minds. The U.S. are trying to
through an extensive propaganda network. He is quoted saying, "Do not fear the enemy.
Do not fear the enemy,
for they can only take your life.
For they can only take your life.
Fear the media far more.
Fear the media far more.
For they will destroy your honor."
Destroy your honor.
The Americans, meanwhile, believed that their attrition strategy was successful. And Westmoreland was predicting an imminent end of the war. But unbeknownst to him, Vietnamese forces were effectively using the Ho Chi Minh Trail to move large amounts of supplies through neutral Laos.
Wow, that's so good. Like, so that means, like, what they go around here, right?
Despite being bombed almost every hour. By 1968, the U.S. illusion of imminent victory was shattered by the Tet Offensive. The brutal campaigns
by the Tet Offensive, the brutal campaign saw
over 80,000 NVA.
Whoa, 80,000 North Vietnamese, and like 80,000. So that means that the North Vietnamese army and the Viet Cong troops are at more than 800 cities. Wow. Now that's what I call the best time of the Vietnamese life ever. Just making more jokes.
And Viet Cong troops attacked more than 100 cities throughout the country, including the South Vietnamese capital of Saigon. Much of the fighting, such as in Hue, became the war's bloodiest battles. Despite launching such an ambitious attack, the NVA made few, if any, tangible gains, but it struck a devastating blow to American morale, not only back in the United States, but also in the field. At home, the leaking of the
Pentagon
Papers also dispelled any justifications for the war and revealed atrocities such as the My Lai massacre.
Really? Oh no, not the My Lai massacre. I don't want to hear that again.
Further increasing an anti-war sentiment across the country. And a so-called credibility gap began to grow between what the public was told and what they believed. As William Westmoreland himself would later say, "It's the first war we've ever fought on the television screen, and the first war that our country ever fought where the media had full reign." The casualties suffered in the war were now seen in a new light, with so many men having been lost thus far on the other side of the world, and they weren't even winning, while the NVA could strike at any time. Faced with a crushingly negative public opinion, the American government was forced to withdraw the nation's forces in 1973, and 2 years later, the NVA finally captured Saigon, ending the conflict.
Vietnamese won, yeah. Victory, Vietnamese. Team Vietnam.
Now a word from our sponsor.
Okay, now we're going to skip the sponsor, and I'll say goodbye.